Hey guys, what's going on, dudes? It is David and Devin, and we're back with another video. But in this video, guys, I'm going to be talking to you about the Spanish Grand Prix that I just finished yesterday. I'm going to go through the whole race, but before I get into the whole race, I'm going to get into the starting grid and go through the whole grid. Then I'm going to go team by team, and then at the end, I'll talk about the race and how I saw it, whether it was good, whether it was exciting or boring, and then that'll be in the video. But in this, alright, so starting off, we're going to be starting off with the starting grid. On the row 1 was Bottas and Hamilton. Row 2, Vettel and Verstappen. Row 3, Leclerc and Gasly. Row 4, Grosjean and Magnussen, the two Haas. Keep that in mind. Row 5, Kvyat and Norris. Row 6, Albon and Sainz. Row 7, Ricciardo and Raikkonen. Row 8, geez, how am I forgetting already? Perez and Stroll. Row 9, Kubica and Giovinazzi, and row 10, Russell and Nico Hülkenberg had to start in the pits. Hold on. So now we go by team, and I'm going to tell you where each driver finished and whether they did good this race or whether it was a bad race for them. So starting off, we're going to actually start off with Mercedes. Now Mercedes, obviously, if you guys do know the race, they finished 1-2. Hamilton won the race. That's his third win in Spain, and he did get the fastest lap, which means he gets the extra point, which I think in the points means that he is actually tied with Bottas right now on points, unless Bottas has a 1 point advantage. But I'm pretty sure they're tied heading into the next race. The second team I'm going to be talking about, obviously, is going to be Ferrari, and I just want to get this straight out of the way. What was Ferrari doing? On lap 12, they swapped Vettel with Leclerc so Leclerc can chase down Verstappen. And then on lap 36, they switched them back around before the safety car happened. And it just seems like Ferrari's strategy just could not be pulled off today. And they just had a torrid race. And it was just like, what are Ferrari doing? Because before at the preseason, everybody thought Ferrari was going to be the #1 team. But now that Mercedes has gotten 5 straight 1-2s, everybody's wondering where Ferrari are going to be, and when it comes to the next race, which I'll get into later, they're definitely not going to be anywhere. But the next team is going to be Red Bull. Obviously, Verstappen finished 3rd, good podium for him, and Gasly finished 6th. That's a very good race for Gasly. At their first few races, everybody was doubting him and saying he was going to be replaced by Alexander Albon, but in the past 2 races, Gasly has finished in a very good P6, which is typical for a Red Bull. I know you should be trying to beat the Ferraris, but if you're working your way up in your first year with Red Bull team, then you got to give him some time. I'm giving him a lot of time because I know Pierre Gasly is a very good driver, and I know he'll definitely eventually become good for Red Bull. The next team we're gonna be talking about is McLaren. Carlo Sainz finished 8th after starting. If you guys remember where I said he was starting, I'm not gonna go back into it. Okay, yeah, I will because I have it right here. Carlo Sainz was starting 12th, and he finished P8. That is a very good race for Carlo Sainz, who in this whole season so far has never finished outside the points. That is a streak that he continues for the first, 5 races now, heading into the 6th race. And now for his teammate got involved in an incident with Lance Stroll. He kind of dive-bombed Lance Stroll into the corner, but then in the next corner, Stroll didn't give him that much space. So it was kind of a racing incident, but if I had to put the blame on somebody, I would put the blame on Lance Stroll because he did not give him space. The next team we're going to be talking about, speaking of Lance Stroll, the next team we're going to be talking about is Racing Point Force India, Perez 15th, and then we already know I just said Stroll, Lando Norris. I didn't even say that. Lando Norris and Lance Stroll were both out, so that take care of Racing Point. They had a dull race. Sergio Perez is never going to finish in the top 10. They didn't even start in the top 10, so nothing was going to happen with that. Moving on to the next team, we have Haas F1. Kevin Magnussen finished 7th, and Romain Grosjean finished 10th, the last points paying position. Now, I just want to say, Kevin Magnussen, you are way too aggressive. on lap, what was it, 53, 57, they both got into a little scuffle, and Magnussen ended up forcing Grosjean off the track like twice. Magnussen was very lucky to escape without a penalty, but I'm pretty sure after the race, the team principal Gunther Steiner was talking to them and saying like, hey, next time don't run your teammate off the road. If he's faster than you, then he's faster than you, because after that, Grosjean got run off the road by Carlo Sainz one more time, and after that, it seems like Grosjean's car was not enough to, keep up, and he was able to secure a 10th place for Haas, which is a double points a day, so Haas have to be happy. But that whole incident, I got put the blame on Magnussen. You did not give your teammate room, and racing your teammate is just wrong for some teams, but some teams do let their teams race. So anyway, the next team we're gonna be talking about is Alfa Romeo. Kimi Räikkönen finishes 14th. Antonio Giovinazzi finishes 16th. Kimi Räikkönen got into the gravel on lap 1, so he had to work his way up from 20th spot. So I gotta give him that, because Nico, as we're gonna get to next, he had to work his way up back from the field, and he was able to finish 14th, and he's beaten his teammate, I'm pretty sure, every single race this season. Giovinazzi had a kind of a, their race. He wasn't good this race, but he was there, and he ended up finishing 16th. The next team we have is Renault. Daniel Ricciardo. This guy should have had a point. He should have finished in the points today. And I feel so bad for this guy. This guy has the most unfortunate luck when it comes to F1 in the past 2 seasons with Renault, and then last season with Red Bull. He was supposed to finish in the points. He actually got past Carlos Sainz before the first pit stop. But after the first pit stop, Renault kind of messed up, and Carlos Sainz ended up getting back ahead of him. And ever since then, Ricciardo just wasn't able to get back in the points. He ended up finishing 11th, and not 11th, 12th. I was wrong. And his teammate finished 13th, which is right behind him, Nico Hülkenberg. Like I said before, when I went over the starting grid, he started from the pit lane, so that was a very good way to work his way up to 13th. And the Renaults will move on to next race. The next team we have after that is Toro Rosso. Toro Rosso, Kvyat finishes 9th, and Alexander Albon finishes 11th. Kvyat got past Grosjean with about, I think it was 5 laps left to go, and then Albon was trying to chase him down. He actually got side by side with Grosjean, but had to back out, and ended up finishing 11th. And then the other team we have is Williams. Williams are not there. They never were there. They were lucky to even finish. I think they finished on the lead lap. Because of the safety car. But other than that, they finished. Kvyat finished 18th and Russell finished 17th. But other than that, it was just a boring race for Williams. So now we move on to some of the stuff I didn't talk about before I get into the full race. Okay, so on lap 1, if you guys do remember, it was 3 wide going to the corner. Vettel actually locked up and he flat spot his tires on lap 25. I'm just talking about some moments. Sorry, I meant to explain this. I'm talking about some moments I loved in the race. Kvyat goes around the outside of Kimi Räikkönen on lap 25. That was absolutely perfect pass from Daniel Kvyat, and I actually think that was the best move of the race. And yeah, basically after that, I've already talked about all the incidents: Stroll, Ferrari swapping, safety car restart, Grosjean being run wide, and Hamilton winning 3 times. So when it comes to the race, I watched all the races, watched all the past. Like I just talked about all that, the incidents and everything. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 incidents happened through the whole race that were kind of exciting, kind of, mystery wondering. But in all things, I really didn't think the Spanish Grand Prix was that very good. And I think I wouldn't classify it as boring, but I wouldn't classify it as exciting. But when it comes to the next race, which is actually Monaco, that will definitely be an exciting race. So I'm gonna love watching the Monaco Grand Prix. But when it comes to the Monaco Grand Prix, my predictions will be out when the race comes, or the week, 3 days or 2 days before the race comes, or maybe even on the Monday before the race comes. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Please do smash the like button. But anyway, guys, I will see you guys all later. Peace.